I wanted to ask you, what does the book, The Five Love Languages, mean to you?
My mother and father were an excellent example. And we're talking about Mississippi. And in the 50s, my mother was working. And which, for a woman to be working in the 50s, even in Mississippi, and then Mississippi was unheard of. And then my father said, hey, I'm going to start my own business, and they went to working together. And when I was thinking about it, and I kept thinking about how Mother and Daddy did it like it was nothing, working together. And I went to exploring with people before I even asked Rich to come in. What do you think if I asked Rich to come in? And I got hammered with, oh, you're going to ruin a perfectly good relationship. What are you thinking? All sorts of things. It's a disaster, don't do it. So one of my clients, he and his wife worked together, and they worked together very well. And I told him what happened. I said, but I'm thinking about not doing it because everybody tells me I'm going to ruin a perfectly good relationship, and I don't think it's worth the risk. And he started laughing. He said, Sheila, those people have miserable relationships. They can't understand that you could have a relationship and you could turn it into something that's good for the two of you and the people that you serve. And when he said that, I said, okay, we're going to go for it. And I discovered at that point the 5 love languages. And basically, it's part of our platinum rule. You want to give to your partner what they want, not necessarily what you would do in exactly the same circumstances. And it takes you through a great deal of training in terms of how to do that, how to communicate with one another clearly. Because when you go to talking about business, and you go to talking about the relationship like we have in business, there are going to be times when you got to know how to respectfully disagree and come up with an answer that's going to end up being right for the client, not necessarily egos getting involved and one wins over the other.
As we talk about the love languages, and Sheila talks about being able to give your partner what they need, you may say the same thing. It teaches you how to say it the way they hear it without being confrontational. So we will sometimes disagree, and we'll sit down and we'll go back and forth with it. And if we can't agree on something that this is a good thing to do, if there's some one of us still holds out, we don't do it, because that increases our level of risk for somebody. So we avoid those, and sometimes one of us will turn out to be right, sometimes the other one will turn out to be right, but we don't take the risk with the client's money.
And I highly recommend that program. I'm glad you mentioned it to us, because we have it on the website, and we recommend everybody consider taking that course, because it will really improve your relationship.
Because you have a remarkable working relationship. You're married for many, many years. How many years you been married?
I think 37. We're actually 38 this year.
And you've been business partners how long?
About 18 of that, which is one of the, we had talked about it early on when I was still in my corporate career, and the idea being that at that point we said it probably makes sense not to, for the simple reason that businesses go in cycles. Better we're not both in the same one. Once we had 20 years under it and we talked about it again, said, we worked out a whole lot of the marriage part. We've got a good relationship, solid, let's go for it.
In fact, the opposite would be true. If you have a bad relationship, you don't want to think about going in business with one another.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But it works great for you two.
Yes.
it has, yeah.
That's good. There are puppy dogs running around here. I know one of the things, you're really into rescue animals. Talk to me about that aspect of your life.
I said, Rich, we got to get this dog, because you want a big dog and I want a little dog. She's a little big dog. And so we got Vita, and she has just been a wonderful blessing to us.
Did you have animals in New Jersey where you lived?
We had 2 cats.
You did?
It was also, you didn't have room for dogs in New York.
There you go.
Yeah, it was cats fit, but dogs were a little too, they need more space, they need more room, they need more places to run.
You having fun?
Absolutely. We talked before about it's not work. I say if you love what you do for a living, you never work a day in your life, is true. Not every day do you end up smiling. There are some days that are tougher than others. Some days go easier than others, and some aren't that easy. But if we didn't love it, if we didn't really have fun with it, we wouldn't do it. It's as simple as that. Passion was the word I had for it. We really enjoy what we do. We like it. We like doing it well.
You happy?
Very, very much so.
Do you wake up in the morning and pinch yourself as to where you're living?
Oh, I definitely do that all the time. There are times when the dogs will wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. They want to go out, and I'll just sit there and stare at all the lights that are there, and how many more lights there are now than when we first came here, and just think about how blessed we are to live in a place that just from the existence of it, you feel good about everything that you do.
And there you are, the amazing story of Rich and Sheila Jamison, their firm, the Jamison Financial Group, and their remarkably stress-free lifestyle here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting for CUTV News from Asheville, North Carolina.